Hi, my name is Jolie Gabrielle, and thank you so much for joining my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again. This is Jolie Gabrielle, and this is day 7 of consistency. Posting each day to be consistent, doing meditations, and helping myself heal, moving out of a state of stagnation and really getting focused towards my goals. One of them is abdominals. I had them 6 months ago, but I have eaten carbs and carbohydrates, and we really don't get along. My program is intermittent fasting and 2 meals after that and bulletproof coffee. But I've been having donuts and creamer. So this has been a challenge, and I still ain't right. I did intermittent fast yesterday, but then I had a cheeseburger. So we're not aligned with this yet. So we're still working there, but where I am trying to work is internally. So where I'm at is soul contracts. I really wanted to get into how to break those on your own without necessarily having to see a healer or a shaman or someone who is able to transmute energy. Soul contracts and really are really hard lessons. Now, when we are born, we come in with our chakras, and our chakras are like luggage. And as we're born and throughout certain phases of our life, they unlock and unpack. And these are our experiences. Now, since we drive our own car, right, our own body, mind, and spirit, some people believe in predestination, but I think we have a little bit of wiggle room there, right? Because we got that. Some people don't even believe in free will now. I do believe we do have a lot more control than we give ourselves credit for, but I also think there are invaders that want to come into our minds and our hearts through social engineering and kind of get us turned around or sending us in the wrong direction to where we are aligned or want to go, or, our purpose. So oftentimes, because we're not driving our bus, we don't know how our brain works. We don't really understand how our body works, but other people do. Our government, these institutions that are selling us things, they know exactly how we work. That's why it's easy for them to socially engineer and program us. So to take our power back, one of the ways that we do so is by taking responsibility over all of us, even the parts of us that may not be here, right? You're like, what do you mean? Our soul is here, but some people believe in, quantum or multiverse. There's others of us in different spaces and places. Now, I can't get into that. That's not my wheelhouse. But I think just knowing that is enough for us to realize we need to break some soul contracts. We need to break whatever is sitting out there in the ether that's affecting us that we may not know about. We need to connect and fix those different lives, the past that we've had, maybe parallel lives, all planes, all levels. We need to make sure that we clear the energy here so that this experience isn't weighted down by unknowns. We have no idea. Even ancestral curses, you see people are talking about that a lot, how to break ancestral curses or moving out of that. It's a big deal now. So that brings us to breaking soul contracts. Now, I'd like to begin by saying in 2018, somewhere around 2016 through 2018, I came upon this woman by the name of Eve Lorgan, and she has this book called The Love Bite. She believes that there's nefarious energies in this world, and our leaders have made arrangements with them so that they can take from us what's known as our life force. She has a name for it. I'm not going to say it. You can look it up because that's not important. What's important is that the relationships that we're having are being engineered specifically to create a narcissist and an empath integration, because it's two opposing forces, two opposites. You have somebody who's very intuitive and sensitive and someone who does not care at all, really. They're just out for self. So when you get these two energies together, there's a lot of conflict. And conflict is negative energy. And what that does is it depletes your life force. And somebody's eating that. Eve believes. She believes that these aliens have this power to take our energy from us through these relationships of a narcissist and an empath. At the time of my life, I was going through something similar. I had just been discarded. And so I was seeking out ways in which to heal myself of having a narcissistic sign on the front of my head, like, come and date me or whatever, or be my friend. And I knew that it's in me. There's something going on within me. So I did a lot of energy healing, a lot of chakra clearing, and I also moved into breaking these soul contracts that I had with narcissistic energy and other things. So I wrote out this letter by hand. It's important. You write out this soul contract by hand, and I have a template. Now, I couldn't find the one that Eve Lorgan and her crew, she has a crew of people that she does these YouTubes with, and this gentleman had an amazing letter, but I didn't keep it. I wasn't able to find his. But rewind back to when I did this soul contract. I wrote it out by hand, and I did it for me, and I did it for my family. Right after I did this and I got rid of it, I got sick, extremely sick. My mother was sick for a week, my daughter Genevieve for 2 days, my son was like 3 weeks, I was a month and a half, maybe 2. And I was so sick. I've never been that sick in my life. And I said, wow, this is interesting. All the people that I did this for and me, my body had a physical reaction from breaking those contracts. And I will tell you, I was able to heal. Now we know things are cumulative. I would love to get to the point where I go, alhamdulillah, and then all of a sudden you're healed. But I don't have that power yet, or we're building. So my abilities are cumulative. So I work with somebody over a period of time, and by then we crack open the nut and you are unfolding in the way in which you want to. It also works that way for me. So when I did that soul contract, breaking that, my life got so much better. And then I began to move into this energy of teaching and meditating and doing what I do, and it is truly a privilege. This time I did another one. I did a few of them, and I followed the template of a woman by the name of Julia North. And I'll put her description or that link in the bottom. So to be consistent, you might have to think about the pattern that you have and breaking that pattern on all levels. And this is what this allows for you to do. And she really goes into the explanation of it, why, what you do, and she walks you through the process. This is a powerful exercise that I would advise anyone to do if you're struggling with relationships, you're struggling with money, you're struggling with your purpose. Doing a soul contract resolution, breaking all of these ties to energies you have no idea of, is a very powerful way to vibrate higher and to increase your frequency. So I'm not going to take any more time of yours, but I'm going to put that information down there. And I do have one suggestion. All of the typing in the computer, that's great, but that's not really what you want to do. The heart is connected to these channels of creativity, which are your hands. And the creativity and the heart and being in coherence with the brain and the arms, you see the arms are right in between your brain and your heart, right? So writing it out is the way to go, okay? And then once you're finished with it, my advice is to get rid of it. I put it in the fireplace and burned it. One of them, I ripped it up and I threw it in the water. So whatever moves you, you could bury it, but whatever you do, make sure it's destroyed. Now, another step before I let you go, I'd like for you to do is get clear about what it is you're moving into. Okay, we know what you want to break. You know the soul. We always know the negative, but we really need to get clear about the positives, what we are stepping into once we clear that soul contract. So do the positive energy, do the positive writing, affirming what you want first, then move into the soul contract. Keep the affirmations and your marching orders that you write down first and burn up the soul contract and get rid of it. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, any comments, if you like what you see, please subscribe and share and hit the like button. I'm here for you, and I'm so grateful to be here doing this work. You have a great day. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.